What's going on Facebook? Y'all already know I am Tiffany, empowering, impacting, and igniting entrepreneurs to do what it is the Lord is calling them to do. And happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. So, for those that have been connected and following, y'all know that I was allotted the opportunity to be a speaker at the Heal the Little Girl Within retreat this week. At a women's retreat, at a women's retreat. And I'm going to tell you, that's why I titled this, The Journey Begins. Because this assignment, let me tell you, this assignment has been no joke. And I'm so excited for what God is going to do this week and how he's just laying out the week. And I didn't even notice that how this week is positioned. This is like the last full week as we about to go into fourth quarter. And all year long, I just been like, God gonna show out. Fourth quarter, God gonna show out. This year ain't been no joke. You know, this year has not been a joke. It done gave a lot of us a run for our money. And I did something, I might have done it, but not like I did with this right here. I had to check on some things. A lot of stuff was secured early, and then some things I secured a little later. So in securing the things, I flew a different airline that I have not flown. I've flown several, which I'll share a little bit about that. At a separate time, I will share about that, honey, because I was like, I can't believe I flew on these people airline right here. Y'all can guess in the comment section, but I flew, and when I booked the flight, I booked round trip to make sure that I was in place, not delayed getting here. So I wanted to make sure that I was getting where I needed to go. When you are on a journey of healing, and healing is going to be a constant thing. You know, it could be different areas that God highlights, and those areas could be the area of the season for you to be healed in. And I'm like, nah, I know I got to get here. I done paid this, that, and the things. Nah, make sure I'm here. And I didn't want to be rushing, you know. I didn't want to be rushing. And I'm sharing that as I'm preparing to share what it is, you know, just the journey, just the backside of the journey. I'm sharing that because a lot of times, especially in entrepreneurship and ministry, just in things, like there's a rush, like that rushing spirit, just rushing. You haven't made time to do the things to get the way you need to be. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't want to be on that type of time. So even when I got to the airport, I was able to book my parking with this particular company. They gave me a shuttle to the airport. I was able to pay, but I wasn't rushed. I was on time. I was even able to check in early through the phone. Sometimes I don't do the phone check-in. I be checking in at the gate. And you may be wondering, like, why I'm sharing little details about me, you know, on this journey. Because you know what? The details matter. And it's some details I don't care about, but certain details, they do matter. And I noticed that I was able to do what I needed to do on the phone because guess what? I upgraded. Sometimes we delay our upgrade. And I was waiting to do an upgrade when I already had done ran into the person that had the upgrade in place for me. So I upgraded. So guess what? Every app, everything I needed, I was able to download it immediately. It was no stall. It was no delay. It wasn't no lack of data and different things. And these are some of the things that was taking place third quarter. You know, this is third quarter. This is the end of third quarter. So I made sure that I had what I needed. So when I needed it, it was available. It was available. We talking about healing. We're talking about the journey. What does that look like? It looks like you making decisions to be properly prepared. You know, to be properly prepared, to be where you need to be in the timing that you need to be there. Yes, yes. So my flight, it wasn't that long. But when I landed, matter of fact, even on my flight, even how I packed for the flight, this the lightest. I was like, because I often, I probably should have this on my YouTube page, which I'm going to put it on my YouTube page, but I was like, this is the lightest I ever packed. And when you begin to think about certain places that you're getting ready to go in life, every time you can't pack heavy. You can't bring all that stuff. When you going in to do a thing, you want to make sure that you're traveling light to do what it is you assigned to do. Oh man, this is getting good. This is getting good. I'm taking my time, and I'm trying to help somebody. I'm trying to help somebody because fourth quarter, it ain't over, baby. It ain't over. It ain't over. We in the 9th month. Okay, what they say in baseball, this is the 9th inning. Okay, when I say God about to show out, God about to show out. So I noticed. And a lot of things, when I notice it, it tickles me because I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm traveling light. And I told myself in previous season, I'm like, yeah, I'm only doing carry-on. I'm only doing carry-on. But then, let me tell you, every airline is different. So your carry-on, you can do a carry-on or you can do a personal. Okay, and I know everybody on here have not traveled. And I remember when I first began traveling, I didn't understand these things. So you have to understand them, or you'll be throwing a lot of stuff away or paying a whole lot of more money when you get to the airport. So you have to begin to understand these things when you're preparing to travel, to go a place, okay? Not stay stuck and stagnant. So anything, yeah, you gonna learn how to go to the next level. Go to the next mindset. You're going to learn how to get places when you're following me and listening to me. All right. So, I get to the gate. We at the last gate. We at the last gate. And I didn't even notice it's the last gate. I done flew out from the last gate before 100, but baby, when you pushing for that time, you'll be out of breath sometimes trying to get to that gate. But I didn't have to deal with none of that because I'm really ahead of time. Which is right on time. So, when my flight landed, I ended up sitting by the individual that spoke French. He spoke French. He didn't speak American, okay? We ended up sitting by each other, and the person that I was sitting by, which I didn't even pick my seat, but I got a window seat. I wanted a window seat, but I was like, I'm not paying for a window seat. I'm gonna let the thing just do the little automatic thing. The person that I was on the row with, they paid to upgrade their seat, so they can go, I think, to the 2nd row, because we was on the 3rd row. I'm like, wow, I'm on the 3rd row, window seat. That just happened. I just booked and let the thing pick its seat. And the person that I was helping out while we was waiting at the gate ended up sitting by me. He would have had the middle seat, but because the other person on the aisle seat had wanted to upgrade to another aisle seat, which is more like more leg room, I'm like, child, let this stay with this flight. We in first class, but we're the first 3 rows, baby. This first class, and asking me. Which I done flew first class if awesome. So now it would have been 3 of us if the man wasn't willing to upgrade. If y'all missing what I'm saying, just follow along or catch it on the replay because I'm going somewhere. So all 3 of us would have been in the row, but the man upgraded. The man that was in the row with me, he upgraded. So it left 2 of us back in the row, and the person that would have been in the middle now he's on the aisle and my stuff can go back on this middle seat because we have room. This is an upgrade season. Your healing is available. Your whole life can go to the next level if that's really what you would believe in God to do. So that's why I'm taking my time, because I'm like, I wanted to share behind the scenes of the journey, because once we got the flight, we're on the flight, then when we land, and I noticed something that I never really paid attention to, even when we took off. I was like, wow, I could see the clouds and I could see the water. But when we land, because it was raining, anybody know in Florida it'll rain, then the rain will stop. It'll rain, then the rain will stop. But the way the weather was, they was like, well, we're going to have to wait like 20 minutes or so. So, yeah, we're here. The plane landed on time, but it's going to be a wait until we can safely allow y'all to exit the plane to get on, you know, get off to the thing. So, yeah, no big deal. See, when you on a journey, when you are healing, when you expecting God to move, when you expecting God to do things, listen, you can't be anxious for nothing. You can't be anxious for nothing but prayerful, giving supplications unto God, knowing how to wait, because what's for you is going to be for you. So when it was time, we got off. We got off, right? Boom. Get off. It was the customer service was really good. The people was nice. I was not about to buy no snack, because I'm used to my snacks coming with my flights. Because certain flights and certain airlines, honey, they be trying to run it up. They gonna a la carte you to death, okay? But I was like, no, thank you, because I'm not paying. But anyway, we get off. Well, we get off. We get off the flight. And now I'm like, oh, okay. I'm an hour out, like about an hour out from the resort, right? Hour out from the resort. So I'm like, nah, let me see which shuttles I'm going to go with, what service I'm going to go with to get me from the airport to the resort. Let me tell you. It was a few different options. I called the first option, and the first option, I was like, yeah, this out of my budget. Like, if I got to use them going and coming, that's out of my budget. No, that's double what I'm willing to pay. I went to the second listed service provider. I was like, cool, I'm gonna shout them out in another video. I'm gonna shout them out in another video. Good customer service, great customer service. Called them. Even the call service, just how the team worked when I called, and then I had to call back, and then with the pickup. Even when I asked for directions, they had a video to tell me how to get to where I need to be to be picked up. So I'm like, okay, you know how sometimes when you're doing things on a device, or you gotta go somewhere to watch something, some people complain about those things, but not this time, not this season, not this season. You gotta know your seasons. You gotta know what type of time it is. And I went, and I understood the directions. They was very simple. And I went there, and I'm telling you, I even seen these gentlemen, they was eating, because I was letting my phone charge a little bit, and I seen these gentlemen, they was eating some kind of noodles or something like that. I don't know if it was Mexican, I don't know if it was Chinese, I don't know what it was, but it looked at it, it smelled so good. And I wanted to order me some food, but I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and go. Now, mind you, they said that the driver would not be coming until about 7. Okay. This me making this call maybe about 3 hours ago. They said the driver won't be there until about 7. This is basically a last minute order, because they like their orders to be at least 24 hours ahead. I go ahead and head down there. So I done set a timer so my phone can tell me how much time I got. I'm like, you know, do I want to use the restroom? You know how you want to use the restroom, then you don't want to use the restroom. So I decided not to use the restroom. So I had thoughts of getting food, using the restroom, and then just going and sitting and waiting. How about the ride came early? The ride arrived 2 hours early. Arrived early, at least an hour and 30 minutes for sure. So I said, my goodness, I'm glad I did not go in. Not to say that they wouldn't have called and said, hey, we're down here and all of the things, but that would have put me in a hustle. You know, I'm not in that season. I'm not on that type of time. So, gets on, great customer service. On the way down, I'm the first stop. So, before we get to my stop, you know, he already had said, you know, if you want to use the restroom or stop at this gas station, just let me know and things like that. Just super hospitable. He was doing training another driver. Long story short, don't forget to tip your drivers. I made sure I tipped them. Just to show my appreciation and to let God know I appreciate just how he moving. So I'm going to drop seed. You know, I'm dropping seed. He also asked me what I was coming to do. He might have was just lollygagging, but I had told him what I was coming here to do because my assignment is to speak on the full armor of God. On the full armor of God this week. And that is so vital and important. So, long story short, gets here, checks in. No, while I'm calling for the ride at the airport, I'm calling and paying for the shuttle. I said, let me call the resort to let them know I've arrived early. I said, let me call the resort to let them know, hey, I have arrived early. I just want to let y'all know I am due to check in tomorrow, but I have arrived early. And they said, no worries. Just make sure when you get to the resort, you let us know that you're here. I said, okay. Because they was like, your room might be ready or it might not be ready. You never know. You know, they don't want to make false promises and give you no false hope. So I gets here, and this is the interesting part. My room is room 411. 411. 411. I'm like, out of all the room numbers I could have had, I'm in room 411. So I'm going to read Ephesians 4:11. And it says, so Christ himself gave the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the pastors, and the teachers. And this is talking about the fivefold, what Christ gave. And what stood out is we've been doing a series at the Way to Christ Outreach Ministry about being called, chosen, and ordained. And so many people downplay the fivefold ministry. And let me tell you, this is something that Christ gave. It's a gift. It's a gift, but for his use. It's a gift, but for his use. And in this particular chapter, it's talking about unity and maturity of the body of Christ. Now, out of all the times and all the seasons, and this take me back 5 years ago. I'm trying to figure out what did the Lord tell me to go in Ephesians, between Ephesians and Romans, but it's just talking about the maturity of the body. How are we going to be able to grow if we don't heal and we don't know that we're a gift? How are we going to be able to grow if we don't heal and know that we are a gift. How? Can't do it. Verse 12 says, to equip his people for works of service so that the body of Christ may be built up. 13, until we all reach unity in the faith and in the knowledge of the Son of God and become mature, attaining the whole measure of the fullness of Christ. This is directly tied to identity and your own. It's directly tied to identity. Me being in room 411 is just God speaking to me and affirming me in certain things. But even when we're talking about identity, you know how many people are literally dealing with identity crisis, don't know who they are, do not. Do not know who they are, you know, really need to heal, don't really know how to hear from the Lord, don't know how the Lord's speaking to them. Arrive where you need to be. Make sure that you have ears to hear what the Lord is speaking to you. You have to make sure that you know who you are and whose you are. This year. Don't wait another year. Daniel 4:11. I'm also read that. The tree grew large and strong, and its top touched the sky. It was visible to the ends of the earth. So this speaks to visibility, reach, growth, and assignment. Man, I ain't gonna tell y'all all, but let the Lord speak to you. Don't let what other people say about you and concerning you and your ministry drown out what God is speaking and saying to you. One thing you want to understand, that it's bigger than us. It's really bigger than us. And your healing is so vital. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore how God is trying to heal you from the inside out. Don't run from it. Don't run from your healing. Because the moment you make up in your mind that you want God's best for you, understand, the enemy, I'm going to tell you what my old bishop told me. He said that the devil going to throw everything at you, including the kitchen sink. And sure enough, everything. And guess what? I made up my mind. I want everything that God has for me at all costs. At all costs. So that 411, I'm like, that means information. Information. Download. Intel. Insight. Revelation. That is exciting in itself. And guess what? I got more than enough time to steal away and sup with the Lord. That's important. Ask yourself, when is the last time you just stole away, you know, went away so you can hear from the Lord? When? You have to do that. That's important. That is vital. Get away from the busyness, the hecticness of life, that all of the busyness that come with it, and just allow yourself to sit in the stillness. Look, in the stillness. I ain't no telling how long I might just sit out here. The sun done set, but there's water behind me and there's water in the front of me. So I'm sure there's a cleansing, there's a releasing, There's a washing, there's a renewing, so many things that is going to take place as we're getting ready to go into the fourth quarter. I'm just like vlogging this a little journal entry for me, you know, honestly, because I just thank God. I just thank God. And I don't have on, oh, and let me trip out. I don't even have, I ain't even put no sandals on, no nothing. I still got on my tennis shoes, my airport clothes. But I got on exactly what I needed to get here, to get where I needed to be. Because it was a little windy earlier as well. But I'm going to chill just a little bit. But this how you able to just kind of relax and be when you not always rushing doing things. I can't stand it. I really can't stand it. And I'm sharing this because I really want those that are trying to find a rhythm and a flow in life and with God to begin to just trust God and relax and do what it is He's calling you to do. You know, don't allow fear, don't allow your past, don't allow nothing or no one to make you afraid to be obedient to what God is telling you to do in this season, who He's telling you to do it with, how He's telling you to do it. Because guess what? Provision and ways has already been made. God just be waiting on us to show up, you know, so He can show out. God is waiting for us to show up so He can show out. And I am so excited because it's a room full of women, including myself, that's expecting a move of God. Expecting a move of God this week. And I'm like, oh, it's getting ready to happen. It's getting ready to happen. Because it's time for us to go to the next level. And you cannot go to the next level if you don't want to heal. If you don't want to deal with those issues, those childhood traumas, those triggers, you can't go to the next level until you deal with certain things. Lay aside every weight and sin that beset us. Be willing to deal with that stuff. Get rid of it. Don't let it hold you back another season, another year, another day, another minute, another second, another hour. Don't let it hold you back. Deal with it. So, y'all be encouraged. Y'all already know. Reclaim your pearls, girl. Hey, reclaim them. Reclaim them darn pearls. The water is talking. The water talking. Okay, water. But y'all already know I am Tiffany, empowering and petting and igniting entrepreneurs to do what it is the Lord is calling them to do. Y'all have an amazing, amazing week. And I will catch y'all later. If you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe so you can, you know, see how this journey goes. And if we are live streaming, I'll share it as well. So stay tuned for that. And also, if you have not registered for the Come Up Conference, make sure that you register for the Come Up Conference. It is October 4th at 12 o'clock. You can just type it in the search bar. And it's completely free. So let's go. We're going higher, so get ready. And this is at the top of fourth quarter, first weekend in fourth quarter. So let's get ready to go higher. This is upgrade season. Oh, and one more thing when it comes to upgrade, even my gas done upgraded. I really should have been using another upgraded gas this past year, and I did not until recently. So it's upgrade season. It is upgrade season. Don't miss your upgrade.